Hi, we are Sean and Tina. We retired early, sold almost everything, and now traveling the world full time. We will show you how you can live abroad comfortably on $2,500 a month with real budgets, tips, and destinations that can make retirement affordable and exciting. So, hit that subscribe button and see how you can retire sooner, travel longer, and live more.
Hello and welcome back to our channel. We are retired slow travelers, and today we're going to talk about a trip we took to Rome, Italy. This is a bucket list destination for us, and we're excited to be able to share with you the actual costs for that trip. So we're going to start with accommodations.
So guys, where did we stay? Well, we decided to go with an Airbnb and we stayed for 10 nights and our total cost was $1,551.52. This Airbnb was very nice. It actually exceeded our expectations, and the accommodations did have a bedroom, and then we also had, it slept four, so it also had a sleeper sofa, which worked out great because our daughter decided to join us on this trip. It was conveniently located near St. Peter's Basilica, and we also had a bus stop which was just right outside of our Airbnb at the entrance, so that was really great. Also, it was in it had a gated entry, and it was in a good location as far as being walkable. And like I said, if we needed to take the bus, it was just right outside the entrance. And also there was a grocery store right next door, which really came in handy because as soon as we arrived and got all of our luggage and stuff set down, we just ran over to the grocery and got a few things that we needed to get us going for the next day.
Yep, definitely a game changer. So the next cost was transportation. And for transportation, we spent $154.37. That was primarily on, we took a taxi from the airport to our Airbnb. And one good thing about that we learned through our research on YouTube is that there is a flat rate that they charge for taxis. So we already knew what to expect on that rate, and it was what they advertised. So that wasn't a big deal. And then once we got into the city and started moving around, we primarily took the bus. All right, so we made it to our transfer bus stop. We took bus 64, which is the main bus line near our Airbnb. Now we're waiting on bus 70. And what we've learned since we've been here is that although we don't get a physical ticket when we pay to enter the bus with tap and go, you have 100 minutes between when you first purchase a ticket and when you are required to purchase an additional ticket. So because we're still within that window of 100 minutes, when we get on our transfer bus at bus 70, we won't have to pay. Overall, I think we were pleased with what we were charged for what we spent for transportation. And we like using the bus system anyway, so it worked out great.
Do you remember the cost it was to get on the bus? I think it was around $1.57 or something like that.
Yeah, it was less than $2. And it, like I said, for us, a lot of times what we would do is we would catch the bus going to the attractions, and in some cases we would walk back. So we would go and start at the attraction that we wanted to see, and then we would work our way back just by walking.
So our flights, and this is what it cost us one way to fly from Hanoi to Rome, and our total cost for two people was $1,415.96.
So the next item on the list is dining out. And for dining out, we spent a total of $319.79. Now, as you can imagine, coming from Vietnam, that was somewhat of a culture shock to us. But honestly speaking, if you break that down, that's about, I think we were averaging about $15 per person for the two of us. So it wasn't too bad. Still an adjustment for us leaving Vietnam, but overall, very good food as you would imagine. Great pasta, great pizza. But honestly speaking, I think probably our favorite was the gelato. I mean, yeah.
It was so good, and we found a very nice spot in the neighborhood.
Right.
So it's very good, very good.
Yeah.
So our next would be alcohol, and our cost we spent was $23.17. Now I know for a lot of y'all may think, oh, that's not a lot, but what I found that worked the best for me was I could go over to the grocery store and get a bottle of wine for around $7. So that would last me for a few days. And with us being on a budget still, that worked out great. So our next will be groceries, and our grocery cost was $155.16. And basically our groceries would include our breakfast foods and our snacks throughout the day. And breakfast was one of the things that we normally do when we go to different locations, because having breakfast at home kind of helps lower your cost on eating out. So that seems to work out for us very well.
Yeah, and one other thing, that $155, that was really for 3 people. Because remember, our middle daughter was with us. So, we had to include snacks for her and maybe something additional for breakfast as well. So
Yeah, so it worked out great.
Yeah.
Not a bad price.
So the next item on the list, entertainment and activities. So for Rome, this cost was $315.86. Now, let me start here. So obviously this is Rome. There's a lot to see, a lot to do. So when I went through and did my research, I kind of narrowed down kind of what it was I figured we wanted to do. This was our first time going, so I knew there were some things that we had to see. And then started looking into the costs and what people recommended. So I'm gonna break this down into 2 groups. So we had what we paid for, where we did actual guided tours, and then we had some items that we were able to do for free. So we'll start with the guided tours. So the first on the list was the Colosseum and the Rome Forum tour. We scheduled this through the Colosseum website, and what I'll do for all these attractions, I'll put all this information in the video description. So, if you're planning a trip to Rome, this will at least be something you can start with looking at our list to help you kind of put your plan together. So the Colosseum, very reasonable. I can't remember the exact cost. I'll add that into the description as well so you can see that. But we showed up early in the morning, which is what was recommended before the heat. And we really enjoyed that tour. It allowed you to enter the Colosseum. You could. It had an audio tour that kind of guided you through the Colosseum, which we really enjoyed. Obviously, this is like one of the most phenomenal sights that you'll see in Rome, honestly. And I think we really enjoyed going through and seeing the tour, taking pictures. It was just great.
And guys, always remember, if you do decide to take any of these tours, they do have security checkpoints, so there are certain things that you cannot take in with you. So please remember that, and make sure you read ahead on what can and cannot go into these museums and Colosseums.
Yeah, so we did it once we completed the Colosseum, then we were able to go through the Roman Forum. It was also self-guided. Very large area with a lot of old buildings, some of them thousands of years old. It's just incredible. Me having an engineering background, it was just incredible to me the things that they were able to do thousands of years ago. So that was definitely one that I would put on my list, even though you're gonna have to pay for it. The second item we did was the Basilica, St. Peter's Basilica. Now, what we did with it was, it's free to go into the Basilica, but we went on through the St. Peter's website and we scheduled a tour which allowed you to skip the line. And let me tell you, even though we were there first thing in the morning, the line was very long to get into the Basilica. So that was $7 US, well spent.
I think it was Youth Week.
Yeah, it was Youth Week.
So us skipping the line for this low cost was worth it.
Yeah, and it also came with an audio guide through that purchase, which kind of guided you through the Basilica and shared, historical information, which was very good. And then the third paid tour that we did was the Vatican Museum and the Sistine Chapel. We scheduled that through GetYourGuide. I think by far the best money we spent overall, because the Sistine Chapel and the Vatican Museum, if you go on your own, I mean, you're not going to get all the historical information, that you want to take away from those great venues. So it also gave us the opportunity to skip lines. We had our own personal guide. I think our group was maybe 15 people. So it's a relatively small group, and a very personable guide that was very knowledgeable about the Vatican and the Sistine Chapel. So we really enjoyed that tour as well.
Yeah, it was a great tour.
Yeah. So the 3 tours, pay for those, and that's what made up the $315.86. Now, the next attractions, basically, these were all free. And what I did was I went to ChatGPT and looked up all the popular attractions in Rome that are free. That was kind of my prompt into ChatGPT, and it listed out several attractions. These included things like the Parthenon, the Pantheon, the Trevi Fountain, the Piazza del Popolo, as well as the Spanish Steps. So these are items, and basically what I did was I mapped it out in Google Maps. We took the bus out to the farthest one away from our Airbnb, and then we walked back, and we worked our way back to our Airbnb, stopping at each one of these attractions to take a look at them. Honestly speaking, these were main attractions, are very popular attractions, but the entire city of Rome is really a museum, quite frankly. I mean, everywhere we went, there was just incredible things to see.
Also, we'll make sure that we list the free sites as well in our description.
Yeah, and I will also share that one other item that I did that was free was the papal audience. And for those of you who are not familiar, the Pope does a general audience every Wednesday morning. Now, you can purchase tickets, but you can also get in for free, which allows you to be in the venue, but not as close to the stage where he does his presentation. So we took the free route. It was worth every penny. And I did get a chance to, or we got a chance to see the Pope because what he does before his audience is he comes out in his Vatican mobile with his security team, and he rides through the audience. So he drives, they have security, and they have the barricades up where he can drive through just to see all the people. And you may have seen this on TV where he's, picking up babies and kissing them and whatnot. But that was probably unexpected for me because I didn't realize that he did that. And it was definitely a memorable occasion for us to see that.
And one more thing that we would like to point out that's also free. And when you're traveling on a budget, you kind of want to mix things you have to pay for and things that are free together to kind of offset your costs. But the number one thing that we enjoyed the most was the water fountains
Yeah, I forgot about that.
around the city.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, Rome has a aqueduct system that provides water, public water, all over the city. And people are just filling up their water bottles as they're walking around sightseeing, and we did the
We-
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So definitely one of the unique things about Rome that we really enjoyed.
So our personal care, and this would include our little shopping that we do if we're in countries. So we always get a luggage sticker, and I also got a nice little scarf that is a Rome, Italy scarf that I can kind of wear around my neck or on my head. So the total cost for that was $25.90. And also next we have our miscellaneous donations or giving. Our total cost was $5. So I don't think that broke the budget.
No.
So our total cost that we spent in Rome, Italy for 10 nights was $3,966.73.
Yeah. So obviously this was a bucket list destination for us, and if you follow us, you know that that's a little bit more than we normally spend in our slow travel destinations. But there's a video that we made that shows how we use low-cost destinations to save money for these types of trips. So the cost that we experienced for the Rome trip was covered by some money that we had saved in our previous trips to Vietnam. So we'll have a link to that video in the video description, so you can go back and take a look at that if you hadn't seen it. But that's kind of how we go about accumulating funds to go to these types of locations.
So what surprised us the most about Rome, Italy? Well, it was the food cost and the food options. And I think when you come to that, I think you can kind of dial that back or spin it up how you want it to be. You can, like we did, we chose to eat our breakfast at home and maybe have a snack, and then we had to eat dinner out. So with that, I think you can kind of determine what you want to spend when it comes to cost. But all in all, the food options and the cost were not bad at all.
Yeah, I thought they were very reasonable as well. And then biggest value for money, I think we would agree that by far it was the guided tours. We're looking for ways to save money in these types of trips, but I think that money was well spent on the guided tours in those particular venues that we decided to do that. So I would definitely recommend you look into that if you're planning on going to somewhere like Rome. It'll definitely be worth the cost.
So guys, all in all, we had an amazing time in Rome, Italy. And this was the destination that we chose. Wherever your dream destination is, hopefully you will consider, our 5 steps that we had in our previous video. If you haven't watched that, you may want to consider going back and catching up on that. But this was a great time had, especially fun with our daughter being there. And, for the ones of you that have children or friends that want to join you, it's just much more memorable, especially when you hadn't seen them in a while.
Yeah, I agree. So let us know in the comments whether or not you thought that our budget, that the amount we spent to visit Rome for 10 nights seemed reasonable to you. I think we felt comfortable with it because we had accumulated money visiting other low cost destinations. And I think overall we were very pleased with the experience and the cost of the trip.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. It will really help our channel to grow, and we will catch you in the next one. Thanks for
Thanks.
watching.